Welcome to Zines and Roger. I'm going to make a bobble edge today that you can put on blankets and shawls and whatever else you want. I am not going to make exactly this today because I've shown you how to do a rainbow edge before in another tutorial, but I'll show you how to do these last two rows, and I'll link to any other information I think you need in the description box below. I've made a swatch and I've made it in exactly the same way that I've made the main part of this blanket, which is a granny stripe, and that is the granny stripe blanket from Attic 24. So if you wanted to make a granny stripe with this particular edge, then I'll give you the link to find that. But I've made a really mini version, and it is that same granny stripe, and I have followed Lucy's photo tutorial on how to finish it off by doing clusters around the outside of my granny stripe blanket. Each of those clusters, sorry, that row is just clusters. There are no chains between the clusters. It's just cluster, 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 because I think I've worked out that that gives you the right multiples to do the bobble edge. But to be honest, blankets are very forgiving, and most of the time we can botch things. So we'll see how we get on, because I haven't actually counted anything to make sure I'm right. The only thing I did notice was that I did accidentally chain somewhere, I think there, and so I skipped it. I didn't mean to do that, it was an accident. So I like to start in a corner with my yarn. I'm just going to move my arm around the camera a sec, hang on. Join with a slip stitch any old way you like your new colour. Chain 3 and make one UK treble or US double into the corner space and chain 1. You want to miss a stitch and then make 2 stitches into the next 2 stitches and chain 1. Miss the next stitch and do the same. So that's 2 stitches, UK trebles, US doubles. And you want to do that all the way along. So you've got a pattern repeat there, and hopefully when you get to the corner it'll all work out, and if it doesn't we'll watch it. I hope you had faith in me, because it has indeed worked. I've gone along my swatch and I've got 1 stitch left before I get to my next corner. So I've gone along here with 2 stitches, chain 1, miss a stitch, 2 stitches, chain 1, miss a stitch, all the way along. So I'll finish that off with a chain 1, miss a stitch, and then into the corner space it's 2 trebles or doubles depending on what you prefer, language wise, not stitch wise. So in each corner it's 2 stitches. I think I've just chained 1 there. I can't remember if I chained 1 or 2. Probably 2. Let's try that again. It's probably 2. That makes more sense. Let's do another one. There we go. And then you repeat what you did for this row along there, etc. I've gone round, all the way around, and so I've got myself a miniature blanket. And what you want to do in the very first corner is make 2 stitches chain 2 and join to the top of the 3 chain. And then we're going to do the bobble edge, the last round. So join that with a slip stitch. Ready to begin the bobbles. Slip stitch into the next treble and into the next chain space, and that's where you want to begin. Chain 5, and then in the 3rd chain from your hook, you want to insert your hook. I've yarned over, insert your hook, yarn over again, and then you've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops, and then yarn over, go back into that 3rd chain, and just do, I can't remember, 4 times, 5 times. You can do 4 or 5 depending on how bobble-tastic you want your bobbles to be. Usually I do it until I've got 5 loops on the hook. And don't worry, I'll show you this again. But I think you can do it so you've got 6 loops on your hook, but let's just do this anyway. Yarn over and pull through all of those loops and chain 1. And then slip stitch into the 3rd chain. And that's a bobble made. Chain 2 and do a UK DC USSC into the next chain space, so that what you have is a bobble on 2 stalks, sort of. And quite often I've seen 2 of those kind of things crocheted and then joined with a slip stitch together to create some sort of cup like this to make their pom-pom, their bobble. But why make 2 when you can make 1? That's my philosophy. And it's bobble, it's bobbly. That's a bobble. So I'll show you again. And I might go and get my macro lens in a minute so I can do a close-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all the action takes place in the 3rd chain from the hook. Yarn over. So you're effectively doing like 4 or 5 trebles together, UK trebles, US doubles together. And I do it until I've got cat hair on my yarn and until I've got 5 loops on my hook. And then I yarn over and pull through all of them. Chain 1, add a slip stitch to the 3rd chain, chain 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3rd chain from the hook. And then you just do that all along your blanket. Let's do another one and see if you like that better, because you might want to do it so you've got 6 loops on your hook. Let's have a look and compare the 2 bobs. See, that's when I had 5 loops on my hook, that's when I had 6. So it's slightly more ball-like, so you might want to make the effort in going at 1 extra stitch per pom-pom. Or you might be like me and just stick with 5, because a non-crocheter probably, there goes my hook, a non-crocheter probably wouldn't be any the wiser, would they? It's entirely up to you. So you do that all the way along. I'll show you the corner next. Corners are dead simple. you're just repeating what you've done along. It's just that they look, rather than have that pom-pom bobble in the middle, you're just straddling the corner. So it looks like that. So another hair, goodness. So the corner, rather than having a pom-pom in the corner like I've seen some blankets, this one just straddles the corner like that. So you've got pom-pom either side of the corner, which I quite like, and it's easy. And then you just keep working all the way along. I've zoomed in a little bit, and I'm going to slow down my actions so that you can see all the different steps you need. So the first thing is to chain 5, and then count 1, 2, 3, yarn over and put your hook into the 3rd chain, yarn over and pull up a loop so that you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, go back into the 3rd chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, go through 2 of those. You've now got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, back into the third stitch, chain, yarn over, pull through 2, you've got 4 loops on your hook. One last time, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then you have 5 loops on your hook. So essentially you are crocheting 4 UK trebles, 4 US doubles together. Yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, chain 1 and make a slip stitch into the 3rd chain again, chain 2, and then in the next space make a UK DC US SC, so that you have made your pom-pom. See, if you kind of break it down and dissect it, look at it really closely, it's ugly. But once you've sort of moved on and you're doing them with a bit more confidence and a bit quickly, they're not going to be baggy. They'll be closed, more closed like this. Because I've broken this one down and stretched it out, you can see it's a bit gapey, but the other ones just have teeny weeny holes. At the very end, you've made your last pom-pom, bobble, whatever you want to call it, and just slip stitch to the base of this one, or in this in the gap, whatever floats your boat, and then get some scissors, which I cleverly don't have, and fasten off. Oh no, hang on. Locate some scissors, snip your yarn and fasten off by pulling through that last loop. Boom. And that is your bobble edging, which looks a bit scruffy, but it's not. On a big giant blanket it's beautiful, I promise. It looks lovely. And then you sew in your ends and enjoy a nicely edged blanket. So if you like that tutorial, don't hesitate to give me a thumbs up. That would be marvellous. Thank you very much. And check out my other tutorials, check out my podcast, and if you subscribe you will be notified of future podcasts and tutorials. Thank you very, very much for sticking with me, and I'll see you again next time. Cheerio, bye bye.